Hi there, this is Linda from Linda Loves Creating, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In this video, I'm putting together my Project Life spread for the week of December 19th through December 25th, 2022. For 2022, I was working in 12 by 12, so I am back working in that size as I'm trying to finish up this album. After this spread, I just have 1 week left and then the final page on the back where I'm planning on doing some sort of recap. And then I will be back here sharing it in full album walkthrough with you. But for now, I'm putting together this spread using the Studio Calico kit from December 2022. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I have to say it's pretty hard going back to working on the 12 by 12 size when I'm so used to doing the 9 by 12 size. I am happy that I have extra space this week though, because I do have a lot of photos. This was the week of Christmas 2022, and I just kind of fell off Project Life at the end of the year and was so excited to kind of get into my 2023 projects that these last few weeks of the year kind of sat. And then it's always so hard for me to go back and do things because I have, I'm more excited about the new projects and the new products. And, it just kind of gets away from me. But I'm really happy to be back in this album and trying to finish it all up. So I am enjoying playing with the 12 by 12 size again. But it does make you kind of do more 4x6 photos. And I'm just not taking the 4x6 photos like I used to, which is one of the reasons why I'm so happy that I have switched to the 9x12 and how I know that the 9x12 is really right for me. But I did have a lot of photos this week, so it was really good to kind of have the space for that. I'm just trying to figure out kind of where I want these extra photos to go. I tend to print, so I have kind of like every other pocket can have a photo, but sometimes, I just have more photos than that. And this week I'm working with the Studio Calico kit from December of 2022, which is also kind of fun because I don't subscribe to Studio Calico anymore, so I haven't used their kits in a while. And I do really love them. I canceled my subscription for a number of reasons. One of those being that I just have too many products. So their kits are just huge. There's so many cards in here that you kind of need to use this as your only product for monthly Project Life, and that's just too much for me. So I'm trying to decide, okay, I like that as a background there, but then I want this to be on a card, and I don't want solid colors side by side. This though is Christmas Eve. These are work. So I'm just kind of trying to split my photos by stories. I do have my sticky note here with my stories, but because this is so long ago and I went back in, I forgot I was using these. I went back into my Day One app, which is what I had used in 2022 and prior to document all of the stories of life and just kind of keep notes. So I went back into that app and was able to use that to figure out kind of what happened this week. And I just made some notes of that here to pull from in my journaling. But because this was so long ago, it's been, more than 6 months now, I don't really have a lot of memories from this time, and I don't really want to do deep journaling. I also had December Daily going during this time, so I do have some longer stories in there. So instead, I'm really going to kind of focus this spread on like a few key stories from the week and my photos. So here I have some, I worked a lot this week in the beginning of the week. I'm just kind of looking through this. Studio Calico has so many filler cards too that it's kind of hard to use all of them. I just don't use that many filler cards on my spread. So I'm thinking this one, although it's not really fun, I'm going to do journaling about work. We had an office holiday party, which this photo is from. This is just me in the office. I just worked a lot this week, so I'm going to just journal about that there. And then I'm thinking maybe I'll put a filler card. Actually, I might put this one here to balance like the solid colors with the white, and then put a filler card here. I don't think it really snowed much this week, but I could maybe use that one because I do like the colors. And then I do also like this one. So I want a pattern to go behind these things from this movie, and this was that same time, and I'm probably put like a little label there to do some journaling about it. And then this is Christmas Eve, so I'm thinking I need like a journal card for kind of the Christmas story, which maybe that might work. This card I love. I'm gonna put this aside because I like this as a recap. I also have some ephemera over here that I might want to include. I think I want to include this one in a pocket there. These two I think I'm gonna not include. This was from coffee from a friend that sent me some stuff for Christmas, and this was the tag. I think it was from the pajamas that we got. Let's see, December, the most magical time. This might be a good filler. I don't think I need another journaling. I'm just gonna journal about work from this week, and then Christmas Eve and Christmas Day here, which was Saturday and Sunday. I didn't really have that much more going on. I did have this. I went out on Monday night, so I'll put a little label there. But besides that, I did go out for sushi one night, but I don't need to journal about that. That's fine. Let's see. I'm just looking through these to see what I want in this spot and if I want to use any of these other ones. I think I'm also going to switch these because these white borders kind of break this up a little bit. I really like this one. Actually, I might like this one better than that for this. Yeah, I like that. And then this is super cute too. Here's a nice journaling one if I needed that. I do like this. Maybe I'll cut these out and put this on like a photo. Maybe I'll put this on top of there. These tickets are super cute too. I don't know if I want to put this here. That's really cute, but I kind of like this one too. I don't know. The other thing I was thinking is I could crop down a photo. Like this one might be cute if I cut it down because the top of the tree isn't really adding anything, and that will kind of break it up a little bit in my spread. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do that, but do I want to use the ticket card for that? Probably not. I'm thinking maybe like this one would be super cute. I like that. Okay, so that's good on the cards. I guess I'll just do one more quick pass to see if there's anything else I want to cut out. I really like this card a lot too. This one I could cut out too, but I can maybe put this on like the work photo, see if that works. That's something I try to do a lot with the Studio Calico kits is cut up my cards because otherwise there is no way I'm ever going to use these up. Now I'm going to keep this one to the side. Like I said, I'm going to try to see if I can use this on my final spread for 2022. I'm going to do like a recap at the end of the year, so that might be good for that. And then these cards can go right back in the pouch that they came in. And then I'll look through the rest of the kit here. So I took some of these things out. There's these little die cut pieces. So I'm gonna see if any of these kind of work. These might be good to add a little bit of journaling on things, but there's also these labels. So I know I'm gonna use a label, although I don't really want to do the green on this title card, and I need something for my dates. So I might use this one. I think that will work. You know, I'll just put this, I could put it this way even though it's got that line. You know, I think I can make that look intentional with like a chipboard or something. I know the line is supposed to go this direction, but that looks like weird. This should be horizontal to fit here, but I'll just put like a chipboard or something in that little spot. I think that would be really cute. I'm gonna open these. Okay, let's see here. Maybe this little tree. That'll be cute right there. That's perfect. Okay, so that will be how my title card goes. Now this is Christmas morning. I do also have these stickers where I could kind of put out the word Christmas morning on there, or I could put it on like this on here and like stamp it. I think I like that. And I'm gonna put maybe like one of these things. The annoying thing about this chipboard piece set is like it doesn't punch out very well, and I don't want the adhesive because I want to be able to lay them out. So bear with me here. Okay, so I'm thinking like the arrow on here, and then I'll stamp using my alpha stamps on there the Christmas morning. This, I'm gonna just put one of these labels on. This is gonna be some journaling about work, but I need something for there maybe. Thinking work is not cozy, but maybe, you know what, maybe I'm just gonna stamp work here to kind of do that repeated. This I'm gonna cut out. This is my work party. I'm trying to see if any of these things kind of go, and I like having them kind of spread out. This is Christmas Eve. I could put that on there. This is Christmas morning. That's also on Christmas. I think this daily adventures one would be good on my cat on the tree, which I wanted something on here because I'm gonna crop that down. And then some of these other ones might work too, but I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna put like this on here because this is something I can add a little bit of journaling onto that. Okay, so I think that that's a good starting spot. I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and get the spread put together. Okay, I'm gonna get started with my title card here. And I do end up stamping it wrong. So I know that I ended up stamping on here December 19th, 2023. And, you know, I told myself ahead of time I wasn't going to do that. And then I ended up doing it. So it's fine. I ended up stamping December 25th, 2022 because I caught the error after I stamped the first date, and I didn't go back and white it out or anything because I know this is not 2023. So it's fine. I did realize that there was another chipboard pack in this kit that I had not yet pulled out. So I dumped it into that bowl there and ended up using a red heart from it to add some embellishment to that little label on the title card because I did really like the repeated red on it. And moving on to this card here, I adhered down that die cut piece and added an arrow from the kit. It was one of the chipboard pieces. And then I'm using my alpha stamps to stamp Christmas morning. And I do have these stamps linked down below in the description. They are one of my most frequently used supplies in both my scrapbooking and my planning. And I keep them out on my desk because they're also just so beautiful. I'm just trying to decide if I wanted to add anything else, and I didn't at this point in time, but I do end up going back and adding some tiny attacher staples to that card later. But for now, I've moved on to this one. And for this one, I'm using kind of like the green color scheme. So I kind of like that there's a red card and a green card. But for this one, this was about when I went out to dinner on Monday, or to the movies. I went to dinner and movies. And so I just added to a label here, the dinner and movies, and I added a chipboard heart, this time green, to match the background and the label. And for the movie poster, I had just printed that out very small rather than printing it the 3x4 size so that I could add it with my ticket there. I'm moving on to this card here, which is a photo of my food from Christmas Eve. Pumpkin popped in to say hello there at the top of the screen. And then I'm adding one of the arrows from the chipboard set in the kit. I like that this kit came with both a chipboard sheet for more designed chipboard elements and this kind of basic shapes chipboard. And that's just the Studio Calico kits are just so big. There's just so many pieces in them. So I do like that there are more options, but it also pushes me to use more supplies on a spread, which might be good or bad, but it does make the spread take a little bit longer. I stamped on this card work, and then I'm doing my journaling. I'm going to end up journaling all about, work this week and just quite a few stories about my work week between what I did after work and our holiday party in the office and just kind of the fact that I worked a lot leading up to the holidays. So that card is the most journaling I end up doing on this spread. And then I moved on to this pocket. You can see the ones that are 2 3x4s that go together in one of the 4x6 pockets. I'm just adhering them on the back with some washi tape that is in my stash. so that they don't slip around in the pocket. I added another label here that says office party and that little chipboard that I had originally wanted to put on my title card. And then I'm moving on to this photo. So I pulled over this card from the kit and it said December, the most magical time. So first thing I did was I cut out the most magical time and I adhered that to the bottom of the work card because it just felt like it needed something. And I like that it brought in that color that is in some of the other cards in the kit and kind of tied everything together rather than that one just being plain black and white. On this photo, I decided I wanted to cut out the letters to December and put it across my photo, but they wouldn't fit across horizontally. I was trying that initially thinking, oh, I could layer them a little bit and that they'd be able to fit, but they really just didn't. And I considered putting it on two separate lines, but I don't love that look. I will do it occasionally, but I decided that instead I was going to go up and down vertically along the side of the photo. And that way the word December would fit nicely all the way across the photo. I had at the time I was doing this considered doing some stitching on here. And I think that would have looked nice if I did that on this card and a few of the other ones that I haven't created yet. But I didn't end up doing that and I think it works. The spread does end up being a little bit busier than some of my other spreads because I am cutting up cards and adding more embellishments like that to my pockets. But I like how it turns out and I hope to go back to doing that technique more often because it is something that I love to do. I switched the pages around so that you could see now I'm working on the right hand side. And again, I'm doing the same technique with this card that said cozy. I'm cutting those out. And again, I'm going to put them vertically on my photo. I originally considered doing them on two lines or trying to make it fit again horizontally, and it just didn't fit. It just wasn't ever going to fit that way. And this photo was one where I was taking a picture of the tree, the presents, my Santa socks that my friend Crystal sent to me, and then my mug of my coffee that is also a Christmas mug. And I didn't really want to cover up a lot of the picture, so I felt like putting this down the middle was the best way to not cover any of the details while still having it say cozy. I also like that it was vertical on the photo the same way as the December was on the other photo because that repetition does help kind of tie the spread together and make it feel a little less busy. Moving on to the journaling card, I am again pulling out my stamps, having that repetition across the spread of stamping out my titles. This one says Christmas on it, and I am journaling all about Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and kind of what we did. We had a very low-key Christmas. It was just very quiet, me and my daughter at home. We don't have a lot of family locally, and I had recently gone through my divorce. So it was a different type of Christmas, but I actually really enjoyed it, and so I journaled about that here. I do have more about this in my December daily, so I wasn't that concerned to document every piece of the story, but I did like capturing some of that here. I went over into my stash and found this word phrase strip sheet that was from, I believe, either December or a January, potentially a January Stories by the Month kit, but it has some like winter phrases. And so I added that onto that Christmas card, and I believe I added it on a couple other spots on the spread just to have another embellishment to pull from. And those stickers are from Allie Edwards, but everything else that I use on the spread is from Studio Calico. I cropped this photo down just because I had a lot of photos in my spread that had a lot of dark colors and I didn't want it to be super busy. And I thought that cropping it down and using one of the cards, not only does it use another card from the kit, but it allows me to kind of break up the photo space and have some other colors in there. This piece of cardboard came from an advent calendar for cats that my cat had from Trader Joe's, and I just cropped it down to 3x4 and I'm slipping it into the pocket as is with no additional embellishing. That photo right there that I just did was 2 photos from Christmas Day that I wanted to include just because I had so many photos. Sometimes I do create layered templates in Photoshop Elements and use that to add multiple photos to one pocket. So that is what I did to include those 2 photos. And I just embellished them with one of the chipboard hearts and one of the word phrase strips. I rearranged the cards a little bit on the spread just to try to have a little bit better balance. And now I'm going on to embellish this photo from Christmas morning. I did end up opening up these alphas from the kit and use these to write out Xmas, which is not really what I would say most of the time, but I didn't think Christmas would fit here without having stickers on top of my daughter's head. And it was more important to preserve the photo than include the full word. I didn't initially want to use those stickers if I wasn't going to repeat them more than once, and it's not typically something I would do, but there really wasn't anywhere else on the thread that I wanted to include them, so I ended up just leaving it as is. I guess I could have put some on that photo of my daughter making her gingerbread house, but at this point, I kind of felt like the spread was done. There was a lot going on, and I wanted to just call it good and slip everything into the pockets. So that's what I end up doing. I'm just kind of trimming stuff down, making sure it fits, and doing like that, my final check. But that pretty much wraps up this spread. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I hope that you also are finishing up your 2022 project life if you have not yet done so. Here's a look at that final spread. And as always, please let me know if you want to see more videos like this or what other things you would like to see from me in the future. I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye.